Okay, so number 13. A man's taxable income is 20,000. He pays tax at the rate of 28%. The amount of income tax he pays is, so you're going to have 20,000 multiplied by 28%. So it is asking for the amount of tax he pays. So you know we're not allowed calculators in the exam, so you're going to cross off 100. So what we need to find is 200 times 28. For me, you have two ways you can do this, but for me, what I would do is I would say 100 times 28 plus 100 times 28, because for me it's easier to multiply the 100 times the 28 two times rather than 200. So that would be 2,800 plus 2,800, which would be 5,600, which is C. For the next question, number 14, it says a man's basic wage for a 40-hour week. So we're going to write down the information that we have. So we have a 40-hour week is 160. So this is his 9 to 5. This is what he gets regularly, right? So if he's paid $5 per hour overtime, $5 per hour overtime, if he works 6.5 hours overtime, what would his wage for the week be? So basically his overtime rate is $5 an hour. However, this week he worked 6.5 hours, so we need to find out his overtime wage and add it to his basic salary, because he's supposed to get the 150 regardless. So it will be 160, which is basic wage, plus, so he works 6.5 hours overtime times $5 per hour, and this would be 160 plus 6 times 5 is 30, half times 5 is 2.5, so it'll be 32.50. So that would be 192.50, which is D. So it is saying that if TT $6 is equal to US $1, then TT $15 in US dollars is what? This is 1, not 7, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to have to cross multiply, but we can set it out like this. So you have US TT. I prefer to put the 1 with the 1 on this side, just my preference, but it doesn't matter. And then we would have the 15, because we're trying to find the US equivalent of 15 TTD. So the way how we do this is by cross multiplying. So you have 6 question mark is equal to 15. Question mark is equal to 15 divided by 6. So now, as we know, calculators are not allowed. So the way how I would do this question now is I would imagine this as 12 over 6, and that would give me 2. And then what would be left is 3 over 6, and that would be a half. So that would be 2.5. So for number 16, we're told that the annual interest rate on a 15-year mortgage on a house at a value of $450,000 is 5 cents for every dollar. That means that for every dollar here, the interest that you're paying is 5 cents. So for $1 you're paying 5 cents. How much interest are you paying on 450,000 of those dollars? So therefore the answer is 450,000, because we're just finding the interest, times 5 over 100. So that is 4,500 times 5. 4,000 times 5 is 20,000. 500 times 5 is 25, so 22,500. Find creative ways to work without your calculator, and that is B. Mary invested $200, which is her principal, for 5 years, which is time, at a rate of 5% per annum. John invested $500, we don't know the time, at the same rate. So now it says that they both receive the same amount of money in simple interest. How many years did John invest his money for? So when we're working with simple interest, we can use a magic triangle. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what a magic triangle is, I will explain what it is. So we have 100i P times R times T. So the way how we use a magic triangle is that if we're trying to find the principal, we put our finger over the principal and then we write what is left. So P is equal to 100i over R times T. So this represents a division sign. To find 100i, it is equal to R. Keep on writing P as R. So P times R times T. So now using Mary's information, we need to find the amount of interest that Mary got. So Mary got 200 times 5 times 5. So this is 1,000 times 5, that is equal to 5,000. But the interest, remember, is 100 times I, so therefore her actual interest is 50, which is just divided by 100. Two different formulas to find this. You can work without the 100 or you can work with the 100 depending on what you're comfortable with and what you were taught. So if you were supposed to work with the 100i, you would have to put the rate as 5. You couldn't put it as 0.05. If you want to work without the 100i, you'll have to convert the 5 to decimal form for it to work. So now we know that Mary's interest is 50. So now the question told us that John and Mary got the same amount of interest. So therefore that is 500 times, we don't know the time, times 5 is equal to 5,000. Reason being, the interest is 50, but over here is 100i. Okay, so principal times, this is the rate, times the time is equal to 100i. So therefore the interest is actually 50 times 100, depending on what you want to work with. Some people don't want to work with 100 and some people want to work with 100. So anything you're comfortable with, work with that. So the interest is 50. Yes, this is 2,500 question mark is equal to 5,000. Question mark is equal to 5,000 over 2,500. Question mark is equal to 2. Therefore, he invested for 2 years. Number 18, we have a salesman sells a car for $11,000. If he is paid a commission of 4.5% for the first $10,000 and 7.5% on the remainder, how much commission does he receive? So basically there's a company and they have a salesman. So whenever the man sells a car, he gets commission. So out of this $11,000 now, how much commission is he supposed to get? They say that for the first 10,000, you're going to multiply it by 4.5%. And then anything that is left, so we're going to have 11,000 minus 10,000, going to leave 1,000 times 7.5%. You understand? So that now is going to give us the commission that he's supposed to receive. Calculators are not allowed, so we're going to have to do 10,000 times 4.5 over 100. So cross. So 4.5 times 100, you can come 1, 2, so that will be 450. And this now would be 1,000 times 7.5 over 100, and that would be, cross, just go once, and that would be 75. So the answer is 450 plus 75, and that is 525. So you can take 50 from this, add on to that, that would be 500 plus 25. However you choose to add, everyone does it in a different way, but find creative ways to work without your calculator. And that's B. Okay, so this one we're working with hire purchase. Everyone's supposed to know what hire purchase is. If you go course and buy a mattress or you buy a settee and you don't have all the money, you can go on hire purchase and pay them in installments. You can pay them a little bit a month time, but it's cheaper to go by cash always. So you have a television set and it costs $350 in cash. Now if you go by hire purchase, you have to pay a deposit of $35. So HP, we're going to call that hire purchase. HP, we're going to call that hire purchase. You pay a deposit of $35 plus 12 monthly installments of $30. Everyone understands you have a deposit plus 12 monthly installments of $30. That means to say that every single month you're going to pay them $30, but when you go on the first day, you have to pay them $35 down. So 12 times 30 from the top of my head is 360. Then this is 395. So by hire purchase, you're paying Quartz or Singer or wherever $395, but you realize that you're paying more than you would pay if you're paying in cash. So what they want is how much is saved by paying cash. So how much is saved by paying cash is $395 minus $350, which leaves us with $45. Okay, so Mr. Jones bought a car for $64,000. Right? The car depreciates by 20% in the first year and 10% in each of the following years. The value of the car at the end of the second year was, we need to find that out. So it says that in the first year, it's going to depreciate by 20. And every year after that, second, third, fourth, fifth is going to go by 10%. So other years. So they're asking for the value of the car at the end of the second year. So at the end of the second year, it would have depreciated in the first year, then depreciated in the second year. So it would have depreciated for 2 years. So we need to find out. So at the end of the first year now, so first year, you would have 64,000 times 20%. So 640 times 20. So I would do 640 times 10. That would be 6,400. Plus, you do that 2 times. So 6,400 times 2. That would be 12,800. So 12,800. So this is how much it depreciated at the end of the first year. So at the end of the first year, the value of the vehicle was 64,000, I'm sorry, minus 12,800. So the value of the vehicle at the end of the first year is 51,200. Now we need to find the value of the vehicle at the end of the second year now. So at the end of the second year now, you're going to take the value that it is at the end of the first year and depreciate that by 10%. So this is now 5120. So at the end of the second year, it is 5100, 5120. If you want, you can, this is traditional way. 1, so that would be 8, 0, borrow 1. So then that would be 6. So the value of the vehicle at the end of the second year would be $46,080, which would be C.